Hello, and welcome to today's episode. My name is Toni, and I am so excited today to introduce a special guest host that we have, Linda Miller. Linda Miller is the individual that I work for throughout the week. I'm so blessed to do so. Learned a lot from her, and her just being an Omaha native has been quite incredible because I've been able to meet so many people like yourself. Today's episode is sponsored by CFO Systems. If you are looking to get your name on one of our episodes, click the link below. If you'd like to be a guest, click the link below. Love to have you. Today, Linda is going to guest host because Linda has a very special place in her heart. She has known our guest today for decades, and really excited to unpack what's going on. Linda?
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, Shannon and I have known each other for many, many years. We just decided it's been 4 decades, really. We spanned into
Yes.
4 decades. We can't date ourselves that much. But anyway, so Shannon is close to my heart because we've spent a lot of time together. I was her client for many, many years. And I have always known Shannon to be so active. In fact, I always follow what she's doing. We've had many conversations over the years, and I can't even believe how she does so many things at once. It's mind-boggling to me. And then just to see her doing more and more and more and becoming more present in the community is beautiful, and I appreciate it. We both have very similar um, adoption. Well, we both have adoption stories, put it that way, and
Yep.
not all adoption stories are similar, but that's something we really love to talk about a little bit, Shannon. So if you can just kind of introduce yourself today and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can kind of fill in the blanks from there.
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Shannon Bingham, and I am a co-owner of Seven Salon here in Omaha, plus boutique, which we just added after we went through COVID. We added a boutique to our salon. So, but I am an adoption advocate, adoptive mom. I've been in the community now for obviously 20 plus years. After I graduated, I moved here, and I've stayed here. I love it. It's a community that has become fastly a part of me. And but I am a Midwestern girl. I grew up in a small town, so and landed in the city, and so I'm hoping to be able to share a lot of things today that maybe impacts people from all walks of life. So
Sure. I do know that, as an entrepreneur, uh, it's a lot of work, right? You're starting up something that's usually small that you want to make big, become big, but you also have a family potentially, or trying to have a family, or trying to adopt a child, or all of those at the same time. So, in with all those responsibilities as a business owner, with your salon I know you started, we decided that's been since
2004.
2004,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing.
Yes,
And
I was
that's
10. It's fine.
you were
Just
10. I
kidding.
know, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I was a child.
Yes.
Your first child client.
Yeah.
But we, anyway, so the business and all the things that come in with life,
Hmm.
like we all have, how do you manage all of that and still manage to
Hmm.
say hello to your husband?
I know. Well, right. Well, he will say that he doesn't get to say hello to me very often as well, because he is a locksmith, so he works here in town and has long hours. But I really look at prioritizing my calendar. Just recently, I've put my daughter on the calendar every other week for lunch because she's 9 and I don't get the chance to go to her school very often
Yeah.
unless I schedule it. So for me, it was getting that on the schedule every 2 weeks, and that is a really important thing I think for people is just to prioritize their schedule. And for me, it's first and foremost is my health. And that is because if you don't have your health, you really can't do anything else. And then it's
Yeah.
faith, obviously, from that point forward, because that is number one, no matter what. Faith is right there. Then family. And then we go into business, obviously, community, and then fun.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that is great advice, actually. I mean, everyone can take that. It's always good to hear like tidbits of what people do, because sometimes you just feel like your head's going to
Yeah.
explode with all the things that you have to do, and that
Yes.
leads to not sleeping,
Correct. Correct.
especially at my age. But,
Ruth.
yeah. Well, excuse my glasses, speaking of that. But so tell us a little bit more about what like sets you apart, which I mean, it's pretty obvious if you follow any of your social media. I will just mention that Shannon is involved in so many amazing causes besides like her salon, obviously. She's an advocate for adoption. She's an advocate for adoption families. She has one adopted child I
Mm-hmm.
know from,
Yep.
your from growing up with you essentially as an adult. And then she's also into pageants,
Yep.
social media. I mean, the list goes on and on. Photography, my goodness. So she's a one-stop shop.
That's the
So
scary part.
tell us though how.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm an adoptive mom and I became a mother by adoption. So, that's been kind of my journey, which led me into maybe focusing a little bit more into that right after I had adopted him. So, I became very prevalent in an organization here in town called NCHS. So, I was on TV shows for them back then. One was called Consider This, I think it was called. Another one was a Channel 6 news stop that I made. And I think that, that really positioned me to say I could do a lot for the community within this realm, but I didn't, for a while I started having babies and then I kind of fell off of that for just a little while and I came back onto it. And then in order to really put a microphone to it, I looked into pageantry. I had a few friends that were pageant people and the Mrs. category, which I didn't even know, like I would never even, but it really has, I would say, elevated me or pushed me into a realm that I never thought I could actually achieve. Each of us are different, like snowflakes. We all have our stories. And I just had to post about that today, like what makes me unique. And that was really hard for me to say, because we all have our stories and my story is maybe just a little bit different, but all of us handle it and build that resilience and build that responsibility inside of carrying the weight of what you actually get to, but then put out from there on. So,
All right. Well, and pageants are not just bikinis and beauty for sure. I mean, that typically comes along with it because the person that is involved in a pageant is already a very successful individual who wants to give back to the community.
Especially in the Mrs. category.
Yeah.
And when you stand by these women that are powerhouses in their communities and the world, and then it's almost like a major networking event, to be honest. I've never been able to say I could go to Singapore and stay at someone's house because, Mrs. Singapore is like, you come over anytime. And I mean, hey, I'll probably take her up on that at some point. So.
Absolutely. Yes, you must.
Yeah. But it's been great to be able to position myself that way. I'm not about wearing the swimsuits yet. I told everyone I was like probably never going to wear a swimsuit on stage, but the fitness portion is a part of it.
They do
and and it's a part of keeping yourself I think at your best self that you can present, because I know there's a lot of people that walk around and they've got health issues and stuff like that, and possibly could have been something they could have done about it early on with fitness. But again, I'm not preaching that, but it definitely is something that is important, I think, to me. So, but I don't want to showcase the bikinis. But the platform work is so important, I think, within the pageant world. And I search for pageants that are platform-based pageants that focus in on that. So
well, I'm sure obviously the evolution of pageantry is pretty fun to watch if you think about it.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely changed since it started.
Right.
Yes.
More than just peace on earth, right? Which I think is a lot of the answers that used to be on, back in the day.
Totally.
So that's so beautiful, and you're doing such a great job. I love watching your posts and seeing just all the good things that are coming from that. So thanks for doing that.
Of course, my pleasure.
And you're going out soon.
Yes, I am going to compete next week. So that's crazy. We have optionals, which include fitness, which include casual wear and spokesmodel, which means I get to deliver a speech. And kind of, and so I'll be doing a little bit of that. And then we go into prelims. Required competition is gown and is a couple other things, interview and fun fashion. So those just basically showcase your presence. And then the queen is crowned on Sunday. So whoever that is. I have 7 in my category, so we'll see. I get to compete with my daughter this year too, which is cool. She has her own little, I'm inspiring her obviously because she's doing these things, but I did not force her into this situation. She found it, she wanted to do it, told me to come alongside her this year, and I said absolutely. So, and I'm back when I was Mrs. Nebraska. She was very aware of what was happening, and then moving into this category, we have the same state title name, so it's kind of fun.
And Cora is 9.
Yep, she's 9.
And adorable.
And a powerhouse, yep.
She's got a very good example.
She does.
She's going to be beyond me. I will promise you that. So
I think that's our goal as a parent, right? Is for our kids to.
True.
I can't wait to see what she does.
What we do.
True.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting and very exciting for you. So good luck next week. That's exciting. We'll be watching you on your posts. I know that. Is there anywhere else we can look at it?
They will have some links that I'll post that might be a pay-per-view kind of thing, but it's pretty light-handed and it's on an iconic stage at the Stevens Center of Performing Arts, I think, in Virginia
cool.
Beach. So
That's cool.
and there's, I mean, I've got Mrs. UK, I've got some people from around the world that are in my category. So
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So the other thing, of course, is your advocacy for adoption, which is close to my heart. I have an adopted daughter as well, from birth, and we all have our different stories, like we were talking about. But it's easy to forget the process after. I mean, it's not always easy, but it is. It can be. Which is a good thing. Like this is my child,
Yes.
so I would never even think about the fact that
it doesn't separate.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about that platform.
Sure.
And what you're doing right now and what you've done in the past.
Yeah. Well, it was really exciting. In 2023, I was able to stand next to the governor of the state of Nebraska. So Governor Payne and I did this proclamation. We put it out there that November was going to be recognized as National Adoption Awareness Month, but in the state, because it's already recognized nationally. So this was a state proclamation.
Very cool.
And my son Seth was also able to come alongside and do that as well. So he read a part, I read a part, and then we had a couple other people that read parts that day as well. He came home with the proclamation, so it is in our home. It is kind of cool to see how that all progressed. And we got to meet some people that day that were really powerful to meet. But yeah, so my job now as an adoption advocate is to make sure all 50 states recognize Adoption Awareness Month. So that's my goal, is to kind of put the word into each state and make sure that they've proclaimed it. And then moving into some policy, I've partnered with a person that's running for U.S. Senate right now, and I am his adoption advisor. And so he's about to put out a bunch of posts about adoption, which is going to be exciting to see. And, just, I don't know, partnering with NCHS, obviously a lot. They've got their homegrown events coming up soon, which is really important for raising awareness for adoption and the families that are impacted in this city. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
So have you ever gotten, I mean, I feel like we all do, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I just want to implode at times. Just, there's a lot, especially, and I'm just going to say this because we have 3 women up here, right?
Sure.
But a woman's role is no joke. We do carry and wear a lot of hats and do a lot. And I'm so proud, actually, that I am a woman, and
absolutely.
that I grew up when I did and have seen this transcendence of different, I guess, perspectives and the way that people look at women. But have you had a period where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything anymore? And what do you do to kind of get out of that?
Yeah, I think my strengths and natural tendencies are to just push through that or forge forward. I think we all have the opportunity to try to feel like you give up on something and you're like, I just don't know what else there is to do. But for me, I always know there's other people watching. And so that pushes me to want to continue to inspire. There are people in my life that have come through things that I'm like, wow, they went past. I mean, for instance, Wilson Musterman, he's wrote this book now about adoption, and it's called Marked by Adoption, and you should really get it and read it as well. But there's people that are always watching and that want to be that want to be at that next level. And so as for me, when I push through those hard times where I'm like, dude, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But then someone else says, man, you did something that changed me. And that is what drives me forward every single time. Every single time.
True. It's almost that spirit of accomplishment or competition or whatever it is that like really moves you. I know for me, it was always competition in some realm. Just always was. But I remember seeing people doing things and I'm like, I mean, so it's just whatever it is that I think too, for people, if you are in that situation, it's just almost sitting down, thinking about what really motivates you, what really is the thing and the key to making your happiness and making you the best that you can be, and what it's been in the past, what's driven that to rise, to make you rise to that person. So that's really beautiful. I love to hear that it is a matter of sometimes looking around and just looking at people that you either work with or know or
I was just going to say
live
that
near.
For myself, I didn't necessarily have a powerhouse mama like either one of you, but just especially Linda, I know you very well, and just Facebook stalking and LinkedIn stalking, I'm like, okay, powerhouse city, but people are watching. You're exactly right. And people that you don't even know or people that you don't know are aiming. I'm going to be on that Linda Miller level one day.
Yep.
I'm going to be right there with Shannon. So it's incredible.
No,
Thank you
that's good.
for your
No.
inspiration.
No, I think for people in general, it's funny. I always also think of this, that, you know, you always think someone's better, or you look at someone else's life and think, oh my gosh, how are they doing that? Well, the reality is we can all do exactly
Yes.
what we want to do. It just sometimes it takes maturity and just almost getting your knees scuffed up a few times before you really get over those things.
Yes.
Like, I had a strict father. He's amazing, of course, but I thank God every day I did. You know, and sometimes I'm like, I'm too easy on my kids, so I'm going to go home and just beat it down. But really, I mean, the reality is that, that those, you know, stumbling leads you to so many better things in this world. So I appreciate that every single day. And, you know, your tenacity to just get in here and open a business at like 20 or 19 or 10 or whatever you are. I mean, I'm a lot older than you. So I remember when you were starting, I'm like, and I wasn't that old.
Doing?
So there's, at the time, this is, you know,
I still think I was clinically insane, but it's fine. No, and I think, you know, all of us need a mentor, and all of us need someone to mentor. And so that is important, I think, for everyone to kind of understand, because it really, a mentor is going to bring you to that next level, and you've got to find those people that can push you. And I've had some really cool people pushing me lately that I've had to reach out, and through Pageantry actually has brought me into that scenario. But the mentors, you know, that you are mentoring yourself, or the mentees, you literally like don't realize that they're there until they're just sitting here going, hey, no, what's next? What's next? What's next? And then you're watching, like, okay, what do you want to know? Come on. You know, so
that is a great tip. That really is. It's something that you don't think of, and not everybody has the courage, or, you know, to actually go and find a mentor or be a mentee, you know, or
well, let's be real. I'm not easy to mentor.
Yeah, well, no.
If I have somebody that's mentoring me,
Okay.
I'm strong.
Yeah.
I'm independent. I've done a lot. So how are you going to speak into my life?
Yeah, right.
And I have to find the right person that has the bravery to actually do it.
Yeah.
And to say what's up, because, you know, sometimes you need those people in your life too. They speak to you and you're like, oof, that was rough, but
no,
I can handle that.
You do. That's very, very important. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I was never like a teacher's pet at all. I was the complete opposite. Didn't want to deal with whatever was going on. But in reality, it takes courage to say, you know what? No, I need help, and I need to figure out this world.
Yes.
Figure out what I want to do, and I don't know everything, and I need to learn from, you know, wherever I'm placed. So that's great. Wow. So great tips.
Cool
so
to share that.
calendaring and
yeah, it's such a cool thing, because I came to Linda and I was like, thank you so much for supporting this endeavor. It's been a blast, but I mean, I didn't come from speaking. Like, small town, like it just wasn't natural. And so I'm like, all right, boss lady. I'm like, listen, I need your resources. Like, you went to school for communications, like, connect me. Who do I talk to that I can get some coaching from?
Yeah.
Little did I know, she had a quite inspiring person in her mind. Did you mention that to her?
I started to say, no, I did. And this is before you ran into each other. I was thinking, you know, Shannon would be the perfect person. I'm going to reach out to her. And I hadn't run into you yet.
Yep.
And then I did. And then she ran into you after that. It was very weird. I believe that there is some chemistry in this world that is bringing us together again. And I think it's wonderful.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Thank you.
Well, and I think that it's so important that we are talking through these things, because I think people want to keep what they have to themselves because they don't want to, you know, maybe share what they know. But I'm all about it. I have zero competition with me. So it's my very last strength. I'm like, everyone should win. But at the same time, like for me, it's just pushing myself, and strategy is really cute, you know, huge for me. So I just constantly seeing pieces and things down the road that I want to kind of position in my life. And then I make it happen somehow. So God is faithful in that. So I just kind of am dragged along by what he has for me. So it's good.
Very nice. Wonderful. Was there anything else that's on your mind tonight, Shannon?
You know, I think that everything that we do in the community is so huge. And I think people miss pieces of that. I just recently spoke at, it was called a Millionaire Mastermind conference. And I spoke at this conference, and it was one of the things that I didn't understand why I was being asked to be there to speak about giving back to your community, because these were tech people and different things. And I was like, why are you having somebody like me, this pageant girl, hairdresser, salon owner, like whatever? And I spoke about how important it is as a business, because I run a $1.4 million salon with
Amazing.
up to 20 some people that work for me. And that is with my business partner. And I could not do it without her. Hey, Nikki.
Nikki,
Hey,
I love
Nikki.
Nikki.
And I think that it's important that when you're inside of that, to be able to share back with the community, because from the beginning, we said we wanted to have an impact on our community in a positive way. It's in our mission statement. And so bringing that in front of the Millionaire Mastermind course with all these tech guys that have millions, I mean, the next course they were teaching was how to buy a company that's on or something. These were big deals.
Right.
So, and I was sitting there like, why am I here? And at the end of it, they were like, thank you so much. We give back, or these guys don't give back as much, and they should, you know. And it was a really interesting conversation. And it was all stemmed around adoption and giving back. And
Wow.
James Kiernan was the one that actually asked me to come, and he's phenomenal. And I just love that part of it was open into that world of that actual event, because it was not something I thought was present, and it was very, very necessary and needed. So that was cool.
Wow. And good. And the other thing that I'm pulling from that too is it's like, why can't I? I mean, and I'm not speaking for me, I'm speaking for every single person on this planet.
Yep.
Why can't I do this? Why not?
100%.
I mean,
So too.
Exactly. I mean, there's just, you feel it,
Yep.
you believe it, you talk it, and you're going to do it.
Yes.
And that's what you've done, Shannon.
Wow.
And it's beautiful to watch you grow up since I'm older.
Just wild. I know. It's selling my business partner.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Pageant is around the corner.
Yes.
But there's also something else.
Oh
coming.
gosh. Okay.
Oh,
So after a few weeks of deliberation, once I was asked, I decided that it was a part of my mission and pillars to become a part of something called the Youth Emergency Services Dance for a Chance. And so it's similar to Dancing with the Stars. So I did get a partner that was assigned to me that's an instructor. And we are going to do a dance, and it's coming up. I think it's October, the Friday in October, like the 16th or 17th. Sorry, I'm not slipping my mind right now, but it is going to be at the Astro Theater. There's like 8 of us dancing, I think. We're raising money for Youth Emergency Services, which is affecting our youth homeless here in town, which is actually a really pretty decent problem that we have. As of the last stats, they said there were 60 youth homeless kids that were on the street that they could find. So that's a pretty significant amount in any realm. This is under the age of adults, obviously, kids on the streets, and this doesn't necessarily mean there's a parent involved. So we don't know where they are, if they're foster care kids that have aged out or have come into this realm of not knowing where they're going to go, or adoptees we've even had, that have been put back into the system. Kids that are coming from Boys Town. I mean, you just never know where these kids are coming from and their stories, but it's heartbreaking. And so this Dance for the Chance is basically an evening where we can all come together and raise money. So I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for money for that. I have no problem asking for it, because we need to look at our kids at all chances that we can get. So, I mean, it's important that our kids in our community and our future is secure with these kids. So I'm going to dance and make a fool of myself, and y'all should come watch.
Well, that's my next thought. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I mean, I know you always play music in the salon.
Yes.
You're moving around.
Yes.
So
well, I did dance for 12 years. I
there we
did dance for, I'm not going to lie. I did have training, but it
It's
was
humble.
But it was like the last time I trained was like when I was in high school. So, I mean, this has been 92 years since
muscle memory, right?
I don't even
Ride
know.
on a bike.
I don't know.
I
It's a
love
lot
it.
of work.
That's
But
so exciting.
this dance is going to be pretty epic that we're choosing. And I can't tell you who my partner is, but it's insane when you're going to find all this out. So you've got to watch my social media. You got to watch and donate. And if you guys get a table of 10 is like $1,000. There's obviously bigger sponsorships if you want your names on things. So anything that we can do to get that.
Cool.
Youth Emergency Services.
I think we might have a front row table then.
Oh my gosh.
I think we almost have to.
You got to be loud. I got to have feedback.
I love it.
I'm the office cheerleader.
Nice.
I feel like I'm the county cheerleader. I'm like,
She is.
I love it.
She is. Thank goodness.
Yeah, no doubt. We need those people. We need a
That's
little
very
entourage.
exciting.
That's great.
well, to the kids.
Yes.
What type of advice? What advice would you give to this generation that's coming up, whether it be they're considering pageantry or just in general?
So if I'm speaking to the youth of this wonderful community that we're living in, it's getting past, like I see the challenges that are in schools right now, and I see what's happening. And I think the schools are starting to get a hold of some things that needed to be adjusted. But when you're dealing with, I mean, social media and all the things that come around to it, kids need to understand that what sets them apart, what makes them different, whether they're adopted or whether they're, got different color of hair, curly hair, it doesn't matter. The things that set you apart make you unique. And if we're going to continue in life, we need to understand that uniqueness will be celebrated. So, I think it's awesome watching Wilson, who just wrote this book, take something that was, the 10 key perspectives from an adoptee. That's something that, that was so unique to him that set him apart in class, but then it propelling him into something so dynamic as a young adult. And for kids, I'm like, use your uniquenesses as your superpower. And if you can get through that and stop, people, you're laughed at first, but then you become the standard. And I think that people need to understand, like the kids have to, and it hurts sometimes, some of the things that are said in school.
Yeah.
But if we could get them to use their uniqueness as a superpower, I think that's a whole dynamic, thing in itself that we could do for a class.
So for sure. I mean, that is what's so hard is kids are trying so hard to fit in.
Yes.
So, expressing their own individuality is just the very large challenge that we have, but you are exactly right. Like hone in on that strength and that.
And I do it every day because my kids are like, "You're cringe, Mom," and I'm like, "I know." I'm gonna wear it like a badge of honor because it's setting me apart. It's fine.
Do you remember though? You think back, being embarrassed about
100%.
absolutely everything.
Except my mom was not on social media. So
well, true.
I'd have been like, "Mom, calm down."
Absolutely.
She would have been great though.
Yeah.
She is still. She's great on social media now.
Oh.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting to think back to it and think, oh gosh, why was I so mean to my parents?
Well, I was awful. I know. It's how you do it.
It is.
So,
it's how we do
it. Even with my daughter, just teaching her, because she said the other day how she's nervous because she's competing next week as well. And they're 17 in her division. And for a young girl to be so wanting to do this and have a straight, purpose in it. She has Cora's Kindness Crew. And so your young kids can sign up on the crew and we can do kindness acts across the, so it's a really cute thing. And I was hands off. But like she was, a little upset one night. She's like, "I'm nervous, Mom." And I'm like, nerves and like excitement are the same feeling. And all these people are just as nervous as you are, and they don't know you. So you've just got to rise above it.
That's incredible advice. Incredible advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a blast highlighting Shannon and the way that
having me.
Yes, thank you, and the way that she's impacting the community. Thank you, Linda, for being our guest host today. It's been kind of nice to take the pressure off of myself, and who better than my boss lady?
I love that.
Thank you, Toni, for doing an amazing job with these podcasts.
Yes. Well, thank you.
I'm not surprised. I was saying to both of you that you remind me of Shannon a lot, and I think that's a very cool
Listen,
thing.
as soon as she said that, I was like, wait a second.
Girls, you don't
Like, are we talking about the same
So
lady?
mentor-mentee scenario. I think we're all looking good here.
Yeah.
So, thank
Making
you.
a difference in Omaha.
Yes.
Again, if you would like to help support Shannon on her endeavor, help out. Let's back her. Let's get her the top tier. And if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a guest, come on over. Happy to have you. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.